I can't believe it. I was on mute all this time saying so many things. So I was apologizing a lot about taking my time to start off the presentation. But now that we are here, good afternoon. My name is Edna Semiti. Currently, I'm the founder and the CEO of a company called Zindua Career. Other than that, I'm also a professional with a number of years of experience in human resources, strategic planning, marketing, and communication. And today I'm here to talk to the business owner thinking about the future. And the future is less than 90 days away. We are into October and we have only November and December before we can say goodbye to 2021 and start the year in 2022. And if you are like many other professionals and entrepreneurs, then you're thinking that now it's time to calculate your achievements, your losses, and then plan for the future if you've. So I'm here to encourage every entrepreneur, every business owner. It's time for you to sit down, look back into 2021, and then look forward into 2022. And when you're doing that, start making choices. Now, those choices are what we call the strategic planning. So for those who are used to the process, they know that the strategic planning process leads to a session where you sit down with a consultant and they help you break down where you are now, where your gaps or issues are, and where you want to go in the future. And the future can be anything between 18 months up to 60 months, as you wish. So I would like to speak to the manager who probably has never sat down to think about their strategic plan, and to encourage you that you do need to sit down and think about having a strategic plan starting the year 2022. It's not too late. You can go through your strategic planning session between now and the year January 2022, so that you can start the year with good direction and with good choices. So just in case you're thinking of doing a strategic planning session, I want to use this time to speak for about 20 minutes and to encourage you to have two things in mind as you're thinking of having a strategic planning session. Actually, one thing. And the one thing I want you to think about are your stakeholders. And so the topic of my session today is talk to your stakeholders before your 2022 strategic planning session. So before you call in that consultant, or even as you're calling in that consultant, make sure that you are discussing how to get feedback from your stakeholders. Okay, so let's start. And I always like to start off by saying that strategic planning is about making choices. It's about deciding whether you're going to go left or right. In your work as a business owner, as running your own business, you have to make very many decisions, whether to start, to stop, to continue, very many activities. So when you're making those choices, you're actually into strategic planning. So a smart business owner knows that they need to make smart choices. You need to choose what to do, choose what not to do, choose what to continue doing, what to increase doing, what to reduce doing. And there's so many choices you have to make in business. So when you're making those plans for a longer period of time, maybe 18 months, so that it can give you the routes you need to take on a daily basis to get to where you want to go in that period of time, you are into strategic planning. Some of the choices, or many of the choices that we make in business include how to make the most of our competitive advantage. So looking at the things we're really good at, the things that make us stand out, the things we are doing so well that probably other people are not doing like us, the areas that we are meeting our customers' needs better than anybody else, and in the area that they need. Another choice is about the direction. Should you go, what should you focus on, for example? Should you focus on becoming better in your strengths? or reducing your weaknesses? Should you become better at your prices? Or maybe should you grow your products? Should you grow the customer satisfaction rate? Should you grow your employee satisfaction rates? What is it that should you go? Which direction should you take? And it would be a strategic direction. How would you know that you have a strategic direction? Well, you know that you're going in a strategic direction when you're focusing on activities and initiatives or even projects that bring you more value for the cost that you apply. So every activity in business has a cost, whether it's going to be financial costs, human resource cost, material cost, time cost, whatever costs you have to incur, the value you get out of it is more than what you apply. That is a strategic direction. Then the other choices you need to make is what is important to you that attributes to your success. Without a clear idea of what the critical success factors are, then you will not make good choices. How would you know that by taking this direction, you're going to reach to the goal or the direction you want to go? So when you're doing your strategic plan, you also need to think about the choices you need to make in terms of the critical success factors. When you're very clear that a certain activity or initiative or measure will bring you the success you want, you will focus on it, you'll give your best resources to it, and you will work diligently towards even solving the challenges that come along with it. But when you're not really clear whether this activity will lead you to the critical success factors, then if challenges come up, you could easily let go and give up. So it's very important to be clear what your critical success factors are. So that's a little bit of an introduction on strategic planning. But the key reason I'm here today is just to talk about why, before you go into this process of making choices, you should speak to your stakeholders. Okay, so to start with, let me just explain. Excuse me. Excuse the interruption. However, what I was trying to say is that stakeholders, as a matter of introduction, are any person who is impacted or affected by your operations. Just in case you don't know that. Any person who is impacted or affected by your operations. So you could have a whole list of people you're thinking of right now. They could be customers. They could also be your employees. Your stakeholders could be your board members. If you're an employee of an organization, they could be your managers. The regulators around you are your stakeholders. Stakeholders also include the general masses of people who are impacted. So if you're a factory, for example, the people who are living around your factory, they are your stakeholders. The people who you work with, the suppliers, for example, they are also your stakeholders. Your partners or your collaborators, they are also your stakeholders. So if you were to sit down and identify who your stakeholders are, you need to identify them in two areas, either internal or external. Internal stakeholders are those who are within your organization, your employees, your managers, your board members. External stakeholders are those ones outside. And stakeholders could be institutions or individuals. So for example, you could have organizations that support you in delivering your services or your products. Those are institutions, if you work in collaboration, for example. Or you could have individuals who support in the delivery of your service or the creation of your service or product. Those are individuals. So you first need to think about who your stakeholders are. Anyone who's impacted or affected by your business are your stakeholders. And they have a very, very critical role in helping you make a smart choice or a strategic choice during your strategic planning session. That is why speaking to them before you go into a strategic planning session is very, very important. So for today, I want to discuss 3 reasons how your stakeholders can help you make strategic decisions. And the first one is speaking to your stakeholders before you go into the strategic planning session can help you understand how you can utilize their presence in your organization as advocacy partners. So the strategic planning process includes you deciding which route to take, which one to abandon, for example, which one to strengthen, which one not to. And why you're making those choices is so that you can get the best out of the decision. Now, how would you know which choices will lead you to the highest result without understanding who can support you, who can advocate for your ideas, who can stand up and cheerlead the way into you achieving your goals? So you need them to, so that you can understand which of these stakeholders hold the power and the influence to advocate for my new ideas or my new ways. Yeah, so as you're thinking about going into a strategic planning session, first of all, think about, do I have adequate information about which of my stakeholders are my strong advocacy partners? Or do I need to spend time speaking to each one of them to understand where are their areas of influence and their areas of power, their areas of support to my organization and the ways that we work? The second thing, stakeholders, the second way in which stakeholders play a very important role in helping you make a strategic choice is in helping you assisting you to reduce resistance and also helping you to create inroads for your strategy. So reducing resistance. In your strategic planning session, you could be coming up with revolutionary ideas on how to take on the market, how to introduce a new product or service, or how to improve customer service or customer satisfaction, or even how to improve the quality of relationships within the organization with their employees. Now, having an updated conversation with your stakeholder, you will be able to understand which of your stakeholders can become your support system when you are introducing your new ways or your new strategies, especially when it comes to reducing the barriers that could stand in your way. Okay, so that's another way that stakeholders play a really critical role in you deciding the strategic direction. Then finally, stakeholders can, having a conversation with the stakeholders helps you understand where they are in terms of their head space and heart space. Remember, the stakeholders are basically individuals, even if they're institutions. At the end of the day, within the institution, you're dealing with an individual. And an individual needs to buy into your process. They need to buy in their head space and their heart space so that they can give you their hands, yeah? So you need to stay aligned. How interested are they with my activities? How influential are they with the possibility of my success in the organization? Where are they today? Maybe in the last time when you engaged with them, they were at a less powerful position or a more powerful position, and that has changed over time. Or they were at a more influential position or less influential position, and that has changed as well. When you have a conversation with your stakeholders before your strategic planning session, you'll be able to understand exactly where they are, where they stand in terms of the level of interest and the level of influence that they could have on your organization, so that you can make choices. If you're going to say, I'm going to work with this stakeholder to help me reduce my resistances, to help me create inroads, to advocate for my ideas, then you know you have updated information about how well they can perform that responsibility, and even if they are willing to in the first place. So this is the three critical roles I wanted to bring to your attention today about how you can utilize your stakeholders before you go into your strategic planning session. And that's my encouragement. And with that, I have come to the end of my conversation with you today on strategic planning. I'm going to upload this video on my personal YouTube channel, which is called Esemiti, and you can watch it and share it as much as possible. If you want any further guidance and assistance from me, either in strategic planning facilitation, business plan development, human resource consultancy, consultancy on communication and brand management, please feel free to contact me on the email that's on there on the screen, and my mobile number. I'll be very happy to assist you. Thank you so much for joining in. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat box. I want to just quickly check if there are any questions in the Facebook Live session. No questions, as far as I can see now. I'm not sure if this is accurate. Just allow me to see again. Yep, no questions. So I'll just end the live session now, and I want to thank you all who have listened to this. I look forward to your questions. Bye-bye.